Thank you. If I may, I'd like to read you a little excerpt from something I'm writing about my trip to the Vatican archives. This is going to be a much longer project, but I thought I would read you guys a snippet. I've been working on it for a little while. So this is a part of the day where I went down into the crypts. The crypts should be frightening. Descending 40 feet underground through pitch-black brick tunnels and winding staircases, tombs of various prominent ancient Roman families are illuminated, warmly but faintly behind thick panes of glass. Huge stone coffins lie inside a room carved into the brick, completely intact, startlingly normal. Where I'm standing was hidden beneath the earth before Constantine built the original St. Peter's Basilica, finished in the year 333 AD, the tour guide says. 333 is my lucky number. I gaze into the tombs, imagining what my own ancestors' tombs look like. Nothing like this, a voice tells me, and I laugh a little, despite myself. We descend lower, deeper, and darker than before. The passages we walk through are getting tighter. I've been claustrophobic all my life, but somehow I'm able to breathe down here. The heels of my boots click against the cobbled walkway under my feet, and I briefly remember that I'd only bought them a couple of days ago because the ones I packed for this trip gave me blisters. 2-day-old leather on 2,000-year-old stone. The hair on the back of my neck stands up. I can suddenly feel every vertebrae in my spine. I shake it off like a dog when it hears thunder, and I'm struck with the thought that I'm so far beneath the ground that I wouldn't be able to hear a thunderstorm if I tried. That little red light, a tour guide says, and my attention snaps back. My Adderall is wearing off, but I'm fighting to come down. Just in that passage, can you see it? She asks, and I stand up on my tiptoes to look at it. Just across from me, nestled in the deep black brick, is a cutout the size of a small window. It's about the width of a bottle, I note, or an urn. Within the opening, there's a gleaming red light. I'm drawn to it like a moth, trying desperately to search inside for something, anything, but it's empty. And curiously, I look up again just to hear our guide. The red light, she notes, indicates the place St. Peter's remains were found. I'm silent for a long while as she explains that they were excavated in the early 1940s, and archaeologists discovered the tomb's location through ancient graffiti that was scratched into the walls, descending through the crypts. I'm silent for a long while as she explains they were excavated in the early 1940s, and archaeologists discovered the tomb's location through ancient graffiti that was scratched into the walls, descending through the crypts. Proclamations of "I'm with Peter" or "Peter lies here" were etched into the stone like breadcrumbs, and they followed it directly into the source. I'm still attempting to process just exactly where on earth I'm standing while I hear her talk about the verification of the remains. I find myself tearfully staring into the gaping earth where the remains are no longer even kept, like Cameron staring into that Seurat painting in Ferris Bueller. Art and history evoke the same feelings in me. Like when you see a painting you're enraptured by and your mind's eye lights up, but you can't quite come up with the words for it. It's a feeling energetically. It's a feeling in your neurons that you can't explain away. The feeling overtakes me as I stand face to face with the tomb of the first pope, and my eyes are level with the place his urn would lay. I'm rendered speechless, thoughtless, which is a first. I sit with this feeling, and I'm uncomfortable. For a moment, I'm angry, for reasons anyone would be. I'm angry because I wonder why my loved ones had to suffer so much. I wonder why these tragedies happen every day. I wonder, why did we have to suffer through Katrina? Why do these innocent children have to keep dying? Why? God damn. And then I stop breathing, and not even the tour guide speaks. And I summon my courage, and I straighten my spine. And even though I'm suddenly stricken with fear, I stand at the tomb of St. Peter half defiant. I don't know what the other half is, but this half is angry. This half is afraid. This half is desperate and confused. And this half begs, why do you let me suffer when everyone tells me you love me? A jolt shoots up my spine. Why have I had to suffer so much? My personal struggles are an afterthought here. How could you love me and let me hurt? I'm not alone in here. I'm surrounded by 15 others in the group. Kind people, intelligent people, good people. People I wouldn't want to feel in front of. So I hold it in. I grit my teeth and I cross myself. Head, chest, shoulder, amen. Just like they taught me in Sunday school. I remember being young in bits and pieces, but I remember the good feelings the most. I look into the empty tomb again and a resigned tear falls down my cheek. I don't hate you, I think. I fear you. I feel another shiver across my shoulders, like the one that shot up my spine. This one's warmer, though, and I don't fear this one. In the same strange way, I don't fear the tight space that I'm cramped in. I feel years of tension release from my shoulders. I can't explain it. It's like marionette strings were cut. I feel like I just finished running a marathon. I haven't moved, but it's like all the fear and the anger in my body bursts. I don't know why and I don't know how, but I relax. I was neurotic as a 6-year-old in Catholic school. Sitting in church, I was anxious in the pews, and I mentally rehearsed stand, sit, kneel, sing, sit, stand, communion, kneel, until the words lost all meaning. And that's called semantic satiation, if you were curious. And that's written in parentheses. I tried to keep everything in line. I tried to keep every thought in line, because God hears everything in your head, and he knows when you're misbehaving. The concept of omnipotence doesn't fare super great in the mind of a glorified toddler with OCD, for those wondering. Even then, I had never felt comfortable with blind faith, blind trust, blind anything. I used to ask my Sunday school teacher if there were fossil records to corroborate the timeline of Noah's Ark. As comical as that image is, I realize at this moment that maybe this mindset is what led me here. If one half of me is defiant, the other half is insatiable, starving to know why. Life isn't fair, and none of this is fair. And it hurts, and it hurts, and it hurts. And the only thing that can give me any sense of certainty, and I've always felt it in my gut, is that the world must exist in balance. If I can't let myself have blind faith that everything will be okay, I'll let myself have the understanding of karma, of yin and yang, and of bittersweetness. I also have the understanding that I will never be satisfied. I will always be searching. Like right now, I'm searching through the darkness of St. Peter's humble tomb, and I see that warm red flash, and I feel the heat of it in my chest. I imagine Peter. I imagine a fisherman 2,000 years ago. My papa is a fisherman. He used to take me catfishing down in the bayou by their old house before Katrina. I remember him teaching me how to reel them in and how he learned from everyone else who came before him. And I remember that feeling of peace, that feeling of a loving grandfather. I remember what he gave up for my grandmother, and then my mother, and then me. And I imagine him being here beside me. I imagine being 6 years old again, and I imagine him holding me here. I gotcha, he'd say, hitching me up on his back. I ain't gonna let you fall. He never did. A real tear falls now, one I don't hold back. I perform the sign of the cross again, but it feels more sincere this time. Less obligatory. More honorific. Head, chest, shoulder, shoulder. I move to kiss the tips of the fingers that I crossed myself with, and I taste the salt of my tear. I believe you.